In every success story, sometimes the no's become more than the yes. It is often because of the company values, and not because the project is not worth it. This is the story of Horacio Pagani. How did he go from being rejected by luxury automobile brands like Lamborghini and Ferrari to becoming one of the richest persons in the automotive industry to have $1 billion company? Let's start this inspiring story from the year 1955 on the 10th of November, 1955. Horacio Pagani was born in Casilda, a small town in Argentina, to his parents, Luca and Maria Pagani. Although his father was a baker, Horacio started dreaming of a better life for himself from a young age. At age 9, he would carve out car models from, and this confused his parents. He got his inspiration from pictures of racing cars he saw in automotive magazines from Italy. Luca Pagani couldn't take away his son's love for cars, so he let him follow his dreams. In 1969, Horacio and his friend Gustavo Morandi successfully built 2 mini bikes. By the next year, just before they graduated from high school, they had built a 4-wheel vehicle. Horacio and Gustavo built the car from a reinforced plastic body kit donated by a company in Mar del Plata. After Horacio graduated, he opened up a small mechanic shop to design and build racing cars from scratch. His talent caught the attention of the French automobile company Renault. Renault hired Horacio to improve the body of their racing. He impressed the company with his talent and delivered a flawless job working for this French company. Exposed Horacio to experience what his craftsmanship would be like in the future, and was his first big route to a successful career. However, it also exposed him to one big problem he couldn't see before. Casilda, the town he was a resident of in Argentina, was an agricultural based, and it was impossible to drive supercars on a farm. If he continued to make supercars, no one would drive them, nor would they afford them. Horacio needed to be in a place that would value his skills as a mechanic and supercar designer. He knew that the only way to achieve his dream of making supercars was to immigrate to a country that allowed races. Horacio's father was from Italy, and he had heard of the automobile companies growing there like the Lamborghini. He started making plans to move to Italy, and that took a lot of planning because Horacio was just married to his 19-year-old bride. Cristina Pagani moving to another country meant he needed enough skills to take care of himself and his wife. Yet the only skill Horacio had was making supercars in 1982 together with his young. Horacio left Argentina for Italy. After leaving Argentina, Horacio sought a job that would fund his new life abroad. But he wanted to work in a company that made supercars, even if he did not start as a designer or mechanic. He and his wife Cristina started living in a tent in a camp in Bologna since neither of them could speak, and they had little money. However, the two saw as an adventure. Horacio was hired by Lamborghini, but not as a mechanic or a supercar designer. He started working as a janitor for Lamborghini. His job was to sweep the floor of the engineering department, and he was very dedicated to it. While working as a janitor, Horacio was the first to. In the last to leave the workshop, he learned more car building tips from observing the engineers, and in time his dedication to work was noticed. AIO was offered a position as a supercar designer, taking him one step closer to his dream. AIO accepted his new role as a supercar designer and continued to climb up the ranks of engineers under the Lamborghini brand. By the late 1980s, he was one of the best engineers in the company and attained the of chief engineer. Horacio's task as chief engineer was to design a new car for the Countach Lamborghini car. At the time, Horacio was very passionate about using carbon fibers in supercars, and he felt that the Cush design was a good place to start the revolution. However, the company did not have the same dream as Horacio. He tried to persuade Lamborghini to buy an autoclave so they could extend the production of the carbon parts for the Ilu. Horacio foresaw that every supercar in the future would make use of carbon fiber. But his idea was rejected. The Lamborghini brand was started because of Ferruccio Lamborghini's rivalry with Enzo Ferrari. Ferruccio wanted to make better engines in cars than Enzo's Ferrari, Yet he didn't want the supercars to differ completely from his competition and their defense of rejecting Horacio's idea. Ferrari did not have an autoclave, so Lamborghini didn't need. This put a huge dent in Horacio's plans, but instead of dwelling on the rejection, he decided it was time to leave Lamborghini and explore making supercars how he wanted to make them. However, it wasn't easy to break out of one of the best luxury car companies and start your own when companies like Ferrari and Lamborghini are around. Mayo knew his name had to be known in the industry. If he was going to stand on his own, he designed and produced the Lamborghini Couche, which is to date one of Lamborghini's greatest models. Even after his success with the Horacio was still not satisfied. In 1987, Horacio walked into the bank and borrowed money to buy an autoclave to build cars out of carbon fiber. He spent his remaining years at Lamborghini designing and making another version of the Countach called the Countach Evolution. It was a car made of carbon fiber and aluminum, which was fabricated by his new composite department. The results of the Countach Evolution were impressive. It weighed about 2,200 pounds, which was 1,100 pounds lighter than the standard Cuda. History was made in 1991. Horacio redesigned the Lamborghini since the 1980s. Horacio knew that carbon fiber would become widely used in supercars in the future, and he was. Presently, every supercar has at least one carbon piece. His bosses at Lamborghini did not see the need or the potential, but instead of admitting defeat, AIO sorted out on his own to make his car models. After leaving Lamborghini in 1991, AIO started a consultancy firm called Moe Designs, and he continued to make carbon fiber for supercars. He hoped to use money from the firm to fund making his. Due to his popularity in Lamborghini, Horacio had clients from major brands like Ferrari, a part of Mercedes-Benz, Daimler, and Aplia. In 1992, Horacio founded Automobile Modena. It wasn't easy making supercars in Italy because Lamborghini and Ferrari had the market's attention. Ferrari was a client of Modena Designs. Horacio also realized that more people hated his ideas than the people who loved them, but he trusted his instinct and followed his dreams. In 1995, Bugatti, one of Modena Designs' clients, experienced severe bankruptcy, and that affected the funding for Automobile. Modena Horacio was Bugatti's design and engineering consultant, so the bankruptcy degraded the quality of Modena Design services. He had no one to offer him financial aid, but Horacio continued with his plan. It took Horacio 7 years to make his first car, but he spent it well between 1992 and 1999. Horacio spent 18,000 hours of his spare time analyzing other supercars in assessing the exact parameters for the safety, weight, and comfort of his perfect car. He designed all 3,700 parts of the car besides the engine and gearbox. In 1999, Horacio produced his first car. The Zonda, the car made its debut at the Geneva Motor Show. Horacio sold each car for 470 million Italian lire, which is approximately 250,000 pounds. After the Zonda debuted, Horacio landed about 57 orders for his car, but due to low funds, he insisted on upfront deposit. The company started by making a few cars a year until they could expand and improve their manpower. In 2005, Pagani announced it would triple its production output within the next 3 years and enter the US market. In 2007, by 2008, Bug Automobiles was making 17 cars a year and earning over 12 million pounds. AIO continued making carbon car parts and designed more cars after the Zonda, including the Hura, which he named after Hura Tada, the guard of the wind. In Incan culture, Horacio's dream to make supercars came true. His persistence in making supercars using carbon fiber earned him the nickname King of Carbon, as he predicted carbon fiber had become a foundational substance for the production of supercars because of its lightness and robustness. AIO worked on newer models, some of which took years to develop. However, considering the first supercar took 7 years to, AI Pagani followed the process diligently. On the 30th of June, 2010, PGA claimed a record for production-based cars using the Pagani Zonda R and completing the numbering in 647, beating the Ferrari 599X. This was a huge win for Horacio because Ferrari was his competition, and Lamborghini, the previous company he had worked for in 2013, a Zonda Revolution version was introduced, equipped with an 800 horsepower. And the price for the car was put at £2.2 million. Later, he developed the Zonda 760 Coupe Limited, which was highly sought after Formula One. Champion Lewis Hamilton has won. Horacio went from making almost nothing as a baker's son and a janitor to having an estimated net worth of $125 million and an annual salary of $20 million. On the 12th of September, 2022, Pagani announced the successor to the Huira called Utopia. Presently, they plan to produce 99 units of the coupe variant, but they have not disclosed the price or when. Deliveries will begin. Do you think Paganis are too expensive? Do you think Lamborghini was wrong to reject Horacio's ideas? What would you like us to cover next? Comment below and subscribe our channel Think Insider.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, no, this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it